If you're a fan of Fallout the board game, we've got you well and truly covered here on the Lucky Roll. Have you watched our unboxing videos yet for Fallout New California, Fallout Wasteland Warfare, or most recently Fallout Shelter the board game? What about our videos covering the top 5 reasons to love Fallout, or our Fallout Atomic Bonds announcement reaction? Not to forget our very popular ongoing series of Fallout playthrough videos. If you've missed any of these, check the info in the description below and follow the links to catch up. And don't forget to subscribe to the Lucky Roll to keep up to date with our future Fallout material.
Hello and welcome to the Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games. And today we're going to do part 2 of the Fallout walkthrough. Now, a couple of clarifications from part 1. The user Chili Junk pointed out 2 little errors on my part, and thank you for doing so. The first little error I had was that when I set up the board, I had the enemies face down. That was actually a mistake. They all start face up. The second error he pointed out was when the regulator shot me. It was a level 2 regulator, so I should have taken 2 points of damage for every hit point of damage that went through. I didn't. I only took 1 point, but I did rest later on in the game, which would have brought me back up to full health regardless, so I don't have to effectively mulligan it. Another little error I noticed was here. The super mutant behemoth that is currently breathing down my neck. I was actually only supposed to bring in a normal raider icon there rather than a super mutant. However, mea culpa, my stupidity, my mistake, I'll just have to live with it. So for the sake of the fun of it, we'll keep the super mutant's behemoth breathing down my neck. Now, we had just completed Welcome to the Capital Wasteland. We had a choice between checking out the wreck or checking out the Enclave wreck or going to Megaton and asking what happened. Because we seem to be in favor of the Enclave, we checked out the wreck. So this card gets put away and 2 new cards are staged. So the first one is National Treasures. Most of the crew has survived, but all are injured, many severely. Unwilling to trust a stranger, they require proof of your loyalty. They disclose the locations of some nearby caches in which there are supplies and protocols for this kind of situation. So I have 2 choices. I can locate the survivor gear for the wounded, or I can demand an explanation in exchange for the content of the caches. Now, one will help them, one will not help them. But for both, I have to encounter wasteland areas until I find the actual card. Now, I have that set up. The other card that was staged is 101, saying, I'm not saying it was aliens. Brahmin have been disappearing from Hoffman farm, which conveniently happens to be right there. Stories have circulated about strange lights in the sky on nights of the disappearances. But you know it's probably just a deathclaw or other predator, right? So I have 2 choices. I can go to Hoffman farm and I can defend the Brahmin pens at night, or I can activate an old radio to monitor signals at night. Now, in order to activate the radio, I'd need to have Highway 74, which is not on the board, but Hoffman Farm is. So, for the sake of it, I think I will go straight to Hoffman Farm and try and update that one. Also, the last game, we got the boxcar children, which I haven't discovered yet, but as I discover them, I'll re-explain what's needed there. Now, the video ended, I should say, with my last turn, basically bravely running away from the super mutant behemoth. So I'm going to go 1, 2 for my first action. And I might as well quest here at Hoffman Farm. The problem is I have to draw and fight a raider, and it has the radiation icon. So I could be unlucky here. So drawing the icon, it's a Raider Psycho. He's got 2 hit points and I need to hit his torso and legs. So, battling this young fella, who at least is masked, I have torso and legs. But I've also done 3 points of damage. Now, Do I have a reroll? I do not. So unfortunately, my Vault Suit will negate 1 point of damage, but he does an extra 2 points of damage. So 2 by 2, as Chili Junk pointed out, is now going to be 4 points of damage. So I go from 16 hit points down to 12. The only good thing is that I will get 2 loot cards because he's a level 2 character, and I will go up 2 experience points. So I'm going to put the dice away, and the 2 loot cards we have are Berry Mentats, which is a drug item, and Ultra Dret, which is another drug item. Now, looking at my cards here, I have Water, which during my turn I can discard this card to recover 5 hit points. So what I think I'll do is I'll take a quick swig of the old water, bring my hit points back up. Now unfortunately it's dirty water, so I do get a little bit of radiation damage, so my radiation goes up to 3, which brings my inventory back down to 2 cards, one of which is the Unstoppables magazine and another is the Bottle Cap Mine. Now what I should have done is I should have camped, but too late for that. I think I'll take the Ultra Jet because it's worth 3 caps more than the Berry Mentats, and I'm just going to leave them to the side. So that means I have done the first part of I'm Not Saying It's Aliens. I decided to defend the Brahmin pens at night. Now, of course, it's gained the radiation icon, so that means I think it does radiation damage to me as well. Suffer rads equal to the enemy's level. So I get an extra 2 radiation points on top of the actual one. So I'm actually at radiation 5, which is not nice. Now, I gain 1 agenda, which should be this one, the final card in the deck. And that is one of a kind. If you have exactly 6 special tokens, I gain an agenda point. Or if I have all 7, I gain 2. So, that's fine. It allows me to stay kind of allied to the Enclave. I now have 2 influence points, and if I level up completely, I'll have a card that's worth 4 influence points. So, if anything, that was a good one to get. I stage 102. So, 102 is to be staged, which is... the answer is... but it was aliens. So creatures come for the Brahmin in the night, but you take them down. These are no death claws. They are small, grey humanoids wearing high-tech suits. Some new kind of mutant? There's no way they could be. So I have 2 choices. The local Brotherhood of Steel chapter would pay handsomely for this information, or this will bring unwanted attention. Pay to cover it up. Now that is interesting. I could encounter any settlement until I find the Brotherhood of Steel, or I could quest at any level 3 or higher Wasteland and spend 5 caps. Now that's an interesting thing. Being a science fiction fan myself, I would be interested in seeing what the Brotherhood of Steel will do with this. So I think I'll quest at different caravan sites, or settlement sites I should say. Sorry, the settlement looks like a caravan. The settlement image, I mean. I think I'll quest at those until I find the Brotherhood of Steel, because it sounds like a bit of an interesting story. So that, ladies and gentlemen, means it's the end of the first round. So what happens here is, because I advanced the plot, I had quested at the actual helicopter, the shield icon goes forward. Now if both were level, they would go down together. But in this case, because one icon is ahead of the other, the star simply comes down and joins it. So I have jury-rigged a little bit of extra time for myself. Now I'm going to take the agenda cards and I'm going to shuffle them, and we'll start the next round. And hopefully I won't activate the super mutants, because there's one right here who has 3 damage, which will make mincemeat of me.
Lucky Roll is the home of the best board game reviews, news, competitions and discussions. We cover everything from the game of life to Gloomhaven, so don't miss out. Subscribe now to join the fun.
So, drawing the agenda card, we activate Raiders. So this fella takes one nice little step towards me, and this fella takes one nice little step towards me, and the Regulator will take one step towards me, or the Bounty Hunter. Now I need to go to Megaton, and it's up to me what direction he goes towards, so he'll take the most direct line, so he'll go into the radiated zone. And there's no other bad guys out there, and the Bug takes a step towards me, which means he also steps into the radiation zone. So if I was there, I would have to fight two bad guys. Now this is one of the problems with the game, in the sense that bad guys can stack and you end up fighting an awful lot. Now I have no weapon per se, which means I have no real rerolls. So it's about time, I think, that I went to Megaton and bought an actual weapon. Now there is a plasma gun in the shop, so I think I will do exactly that. I will go 1. Now in order to shop, I have to quest at the actual location. So I've moved 1 to Megaton, and I'm going to quest. So the card I have is What the? She's got a bomb. A shrieking laugh rises above the tumult. As the market clears, you see a crazed woman holding a beeping mass of metal. I can grab something and run, or I can rush in and talk her out of it. Now I would need endurance and charisma of 4 in order to do that. A score of 4, and I have rerolls with endurance and charisma, which is not very possible because I have neither trait. Or I could simply grab something and run. Now I'm not a very nice person because I'm backing up at the Enclave, so I think I will just grab something and run. So you sprint away from the settlement as the bomb explodes. Become vilified. So I'll just have to get the vilified token. Become vilified. Choose one item from the shop. I think I will take that plasma gun. And add 007, and this card gets trashed. So I'm just going to add card 007. Now this is a settlement card, so what you do is you go deep, you take the amount of cards of players that are playing, and so if there's 4 players, you take 4 cards from the top of the deck and you shuffle them. Now there's only me, it's a solo run, so basically the next time I quest, I could either trigger the new added card, or I could just kind of go into a standard normal drawn card. But depending on the amount of players is how deep these kind of quest cards go. And fortunately, as I'm only solo playing, I'll get it in the next turn or 2. So, okay, I became a bit of a bad guy, but I did get a nice fresh plasma gun, and I have my whole 4 bottle caps. So we'll draw the next card. So it's Star, which is the Brotherhood of Steel, I believe it is, and we have the Super Mutants activate. Now unfortunately, I am going to have to fight the Super Mutant Skirmisher, and the Behemoth takes a nice big step towards me. Now fighting the Super Mutant Skirmisher is going to be fun. The plasma gun gives me a reroll on intelligence, agility, and luck. Now I have intelligence and I have luck, so I basically have an extra 2 rerolls for this. The Super Mutant Skirmisher, I can only kill him with a headshot and with arms. Now, unfortunately, one of the things with the plasma gun is because it reduces people to a puddle of goo, it reduces their stuff that I could loot to a puddle of goo as well, so I won't get to loot the character if I kill him. However, that's life, so rolling the dice, I need head and arms. I have 1 arms, and the other 2 are legs and torso, so I have 1 of the 3 hits taken. Now I have 2 more rerolls, So hopefully I'll luck out. And we have another set of arms. Now he's done 2 points of damage to me, but I have one final reroll and head. So I lucked out. So I have 2 arms and a head. So I have actually killed him. I go up a level, but I'll sort out the details first. I have actually killed him. However, 2 hit points go through. And he is a level 3 character, so that's 6 hit points. So I go back down to a score of 10. So I've only got 10 hit points. I get no loot because I melted everything about the guy. And I do, however, go up 3 XP. So that's 1. Depending on the... I level up, so the first icon I take is luck, which I already have. And the next one I take is endurance, which I do not have. So I think I will take an endurance trait. So that was 1, 2, 3. So I have leveled up and it's back to myself. Now I'm not in great shape here. I have 5 radiation damage and I have 10 hit point damage. Now I didn't have to use Marcus as a companion because I didn't use a test. Actually, sorry, Marcus only works for tests. I have a bottle cap mine. Now, just considering my options here, I do want to kind of do the aliens marker, but I could have. It would be in my interest to camp and heal a bit. However, there's a lot of things bearing down on me, so I might be actually better off scarpering. I also need to kind of unlock more of the map because I will be fighting the Brotherhood of Steel soon. I'll be fighting a bounty hunter and a stingwing bug, so it might be better for me to actually bravely run away, to go perhaps to the Red Rocket Station and unlock the next thing. I would normally camp, but unfortunately I have the E trait. If you have a skill magazine like this, you can generally level up if you don't have the required trait. Unfortunately, I just picked up endurance, so this magazine is no good to me except if I want to sell it, and it's only worth 2 caps, so it's not really a very good thing. I could take a risk, stay there and sell, but I think I'm being foolhardy because my hit points and my health is not very good. So I think what I'll do is I'll go 1, 2, and I'll explore this tile. So opening up this tile, we have Vault 84 and we have a bug. Now there's a lot of tough terrain around there. The bug appears here, and that was my go. So activating the enemies again, bugs activate. So this fella turns on and he's just a simple old mole rat, so it's not too bad. And the stingwing flies here to me. So that stingwing definitely has it in for me. And we put that away. Now, the options are I could go into the radiated zone and explore again. I would probably end up fighting that stingwing. Everywhere else is kind of empty, really. Now, I could go here. The stingwing doesn't have the actual lightning icon, so I could pass him and go straight onto Megaton. Or I could try and explore other areas. So if I go 1, 2, 3, I explore here on my next turn. I think I'll do that. I will go 1, 2, 3. Now I can't explore anywhere else in my next turn, so that was my turn. You can move 2 movement points, so I just moved 3. So activating the bad guys again. We have Skull Raiders. So these 2 boys take a step here towards me. This fella joins the stingwing, and there's no one else in play, so I'll put that down. Now I think I'll explore this tile just to see what's going on. We'll open up the map a little bit. So what we have here is Ashbury Road, and it's a settlement, which is perfect because that is exactly what I needed. And we have a bug. So what I'll do is I'll move one onto that settlement, and that'll be the end of my turn. So the first action was exploration, the second one was movement, and that's it.
If you're a fan of Fallout the board game, we've got you well and truly covered here on the Lucky Roll. Have you watched our unboxing videos yet for Fallout New California, Fallout Wasteland Warfare, or most recently Fallout Shelter the board game? What about our videos covering the top 5 reasons to love Fallout, or our Fallout Atomic Bonds announcement reaction? Not to forget our very popular ongoing series of Fallout playthrough videos. If you've missed any of these, check the info in the description below and follow the links to catch up. And don't forget to subscribe to the Lucky Roll to keep up to date with our future Fallout material.
So taking out the next item card, the shield activates, which is the Enclave. The bugs activate, so this thing turns on, which is a bloatfly. So it's only a level 1 character, not too bad. The mole rat chases me. The stingwing chases me. And there's no other bugs on the game, so I put that. Oh no, sorry. And there's robots, but there's no robots in play. So I put that away. Now I'm at Ashbury Road, so I think what I will do is I will quest. So I'm going to take this card out, and a carnival has come to the settlement, and people have gathered around to witness the spectacle. I could join up and make some caps so I can test special endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. There's a big crowd with pockets waiting to be picked. Test perception, or not interested, go shopping. Now I could make a bit of money here if I pickpocket the crowd, or I could just go shopping. Now there is a stim pack in the shop that I could use, especially since I'm down several hit points. I know I do have Marcus that allows me to re-roll, to add a single hit to a strength, endurance, or intelligence test, which has all of these. You know what, I think I will try and make some money. So I'm going to put on a decent show and make some caps. Good job, you're pretty weird. Gain 1 cap plus 1 cap for each hit point. So I'm going to roll this, and for every little damage point, these are multifunctional dice, I get a cap. So rolling this, I have, okay, well that's 2 caps there already. Now I can re-roll perception, as I have 4 of the 7 traits. So I have 4 re-rolls to do this, so I'm going to re-roll perception to see if I can get another high score. I did, I have 4 caps now. I'm going to re-roll endurance, and I have 5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap Marcus, because I don't feel like rolling all night, to add 1 hit, which will make this 2. So what happens here is I gain 1 cap plus 1 cap for each hit. So I gain 7 caps in total. So that worked out quite nicely for me. I'll put this to the back, and I think I will camp. Now I just want to have a quick look at camping. See, does it take up the entire turn, or can I do it as the latter part of the turn? I need the reference sheet, so just bear with me. Okay, it doesn't say anything, so I think I will camp. So what happens is I gain 3 hit points, so I go back from 10 up to 1, 2, 3, 13. My exhausted card's unexhaust. Now, Marcus, I keep it if I have 3 special tokens. I have 4, so I keep Marcus, fortunately. And I gain the well-rested trait. So which is basically a free reroll. So that was the end of my turn. So we'll take the cards out, and the next thing to move is the shield. So the Enclave moves up one step towards me. We have the Deathclaw symbol. So this Yao Guai bear takes a big, scary step towards me. We have no other Deathclaw symbols out here, and we have no robot symbols out here. So that goes to one side. And it's back to myself. Now, I haven't encountered anything from the Brotherhood of Steel yet in a card, so I think I'll do the same thing. I will quest here and I will camp afterwards just to get my hit points all the way back up. Unfortunately, the well-rested tokens don't stack, so I'll quest here again, and it's 007. So a recent explosion has morphed this thriving market into charred ground and waste. The few merchants too poor to move on have set up their stalls nearby. Forced if you're vilified, and I am vilified. The merchants glare at you as you pass. You have a lot of nerve coming back here. One decides she's had enough and attacks, so I draw and fight one raider character. So, unfortunately, that's the way it is, and this card goes back, which is fair enough, really. I kill a guy and I get a plasma pistol. And it's a Raider Scum. Now he has a shield icon, which means that I need to hit him twice. Now what I need to hit is chest and head. So rolling the dice, we have head and no chest, unfortunately. Now the plasma gun gives me a re-roll on intelligence, so I'm going to do one re-roll. So I have 2 chests and a head and 1 hit point. Now my vault suit will block 1 hit point. He's only a level 1 character, so only 1 damage goes through. So I go back down to 12 hit points. The character is dead. There's no loot to speak of regardless. And I go up 1 whole experience point. Whoopee. And that is that part of the card done. One thing I forgot to do when I played Hoffman Farm is I forgot to stage Brotherhood airship arrives. Now, having received information about strange occurrences, the Brotherhood has sent one of their airships to the Wasteland. I place a quest marker on any space of the starting tile, which was here, Crossroads Camp. And this is the Brotherhood airship. At the end of each round, the airship moves 1 space towards the highest level robot character on the map. Now, there is no robot character. What I could do is I could help gather local technology for analysis, kill a robot and bring it back to them. Or the airship looks like it has some pretty fancy gear on board. Maybe I could borrow some. And I could try and quest at the airship with charisma, agility and luck. So that's something I had forgotten to stage, so we'll just say it's been staged, and we'll carry on from here. My apologies. This is one of the little hiccups with the game, is that there can be a lot of little micromanagement and administrative things to it, and it can be difficult to keep track of them all. Regardless, that's the Brotherhood airship. Now, given that I'm not a very nice guy, I might actually, instead of unlocking the entire terrain, trying to find them, find some robot to help it with, I think I might just go up and rob it, because Marcus does give me a free hit point. Now, that said, I've quested and defeated the merchant that tried to kill me because I robbed the plasma rifle. I have my second action, and I think what I will do is I will camp, so that'll be 1, 2, 3 hit points back. The well-rested trait does not stack. All the cards on exhaust, so that's everything done here. The next card I take out is Star and Deathclaw. Now, the Star will move forward 1 space towards me, and the Bear will move 1 space towards me. And it's back to my round. Nothing as of yet attacks me. Now, I do have my heart set on robbing from the Brotherhood. It's actually quite liberating being a complete bad guy, because things I would not normally do, I'm doing. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and 1. So I am now at the Brotherhood airship. I don't have any action points left to actually quest on it. So it goes back to these characters. So we turn the card and super mutants activate. So we have only one super mutant in play. I should have replaced him, thinking about it. So that goes there and it's activated now. And this character takes a step forward towards me, this big huge behemoth. Now he's not quite so scary because I do have the plasma rifle. Nevertheless, I'm not going to annoy him. And I'm now at the Brotherhood airship. So the quest choice was that airship looks like it has some pretty fancy gear on board. Maybe I could borrow some. So I'm going to quest at the airship. I need a score of 5. Now charisma, agility and luck gives me an extra reroll. Unfortunately, I have only one of the traits, so I have only one extra reroll. I do have a rested trait, so I have 2 extra rerolls to get a score of 5. Now that's not the best. Marcus I thought would have given me an extra 1, but I don't have any of the traits to add on a hit. So let's see if it happens. So, well, I lucked out. I got 1 score of 2, and I have 1 hit point here and a blank. Now, the 2 damage icons are kind of like rolling a 6. I have 2 rerolls left, so I think what I'll do is I'll keep the 2 points and I'll roll these 2, even though I have a hit point on one of them, just in case I get a 6 with either of them, double my chances. So it's the same perpetual problem. I have a score of 4, I need a score of 5, and what I'll do, I think, is I will use my well-rested trait and I'll roll 1 again, and hopefully I'll get, no, you know what, I'll roll 2 again, and hopefully one of them will be the double point. So one was the double point, but the other one wasn't, so unfortunately I fail this part. So basically nothing happens, and I have lost my well-rested trait. So what I'll do is, you can't do the same action twice, so what I'll do is I'll camp again. So I'll bring this up to number full health, I'll get my well-rested trait back, and I'll try and steal again on the next round. Now the card comes up and it's Star and Robot. Now there's no robots at play, but the Star will take another step towards me. Actually, we'll go here because that's closer. And this is the end of the agenda deck. So what happens here is, this is because I've spent too much time messing around, the 2 icons go down a further track. So if both reach here, the game is over, and if I don't have sufficient influence, I would lose. So shuffling the cards for the next round, I'm going to try again to see if I can steal from the Brotherhood airship. So rolling the dice, I have, well, I was going to call it cocked, but it was going to land like that anyway. So I have 1 hit point. So using up my first reroll, I have a very poor score again, and using up my well-rested trait to get the last reroll, nothing. So I've gone from having 4 to absolutely 0. And that, unfortunately, is Bob's your uncle. That is it. I can't quest again, unfortunately. I can perhaps move to another area and try and amend this a little bit, because I should really try and advance the story a little bit so I don't suffer quite so badly. The red rocket station is there, so what I think I will do is I will go 1, 2, and advance the red rocket station, buy myself more time, and then I'll go back and see if I can rob from the Brotherhood. So the first action was questing, no good. Second action was moving there, and now we draw the agenda card and radar icons activate. So these two lads will take a step here towards me. This person will take a step here towards me. And there's no other radar icons, so I'll put this aside. Now it's my turn again, so I'm going to go 1, 2, avoid him, as just basically go around him instead of through him, 3 and 4, and I'm now at the red rocket station. So the cards, that was my turn. What activates next is the star. So the Brotherhood comes and attacks me, unfortunately. And the super mutants activate, so this one goes here and the behemoth takes a nice big step towards me. Now, what's interesting is the Brotherhood is officially attacking me. The X means that it's at the current level depending on the card. So if you look here at the side, it says X equals 2. So the Brotherhood of Steel is at a level 2 character. And I need to take it out by using shield. I need to take it out by striking both its arms and its legs. So rolling the dice, I have 1 hit on the arms. I have 2 hits in the arms, but I would take an awful lot of damage, or 1 hit on the chest. Now I have a lot of rerolls, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one, and I'm going to reroll the other 2, I believe. So I have intelligence and luck will allow me a reroll. So same result. I could cut my losses and take 4 damage hit points, which, given how my rolls have been of late, I don't think it's a bad idea, because I can quest and then camp to get 3 of those hit points back. So I don't think I'll chance it anymore. So the Brotherhood soldier is, or yes, the Brotherhood of the Seal, Brotherhood Paladin is dead, but I take 3 hit points. My armor, Vault Suit negates 1, so 2 go through, and 2 multiplied by his level, 2 is 4 hit points, so I'm back down to 12 hit points. But I do get 2 XP, so that's 1, 2, and I level up. Now the star disappears. And the 2 traits I have pulled are agility, which is actually very handy for my plasma rifle, and charisma, which is also kind of handy. I think I'll take agility because that's what I need for the plasma rifle. And it's back to me.
If you're enjoying this video, please like, share and subscribe. And of course, we want to hear from you. Post a comment, pose a question, get involved.
Now I will quest at the red rocket station and then I will camp. So the red rocket station is a Wasteland icon, so drawing the Wasteland card, you come across a den that belongs to one of the Wasteland's skittering inhabitants. It probably has some good loot inside. I could raid the den, I could sneak inside, or toss a grenade. Now I don't have a grenade. Sneaking inside needs an agility score of 3. And I could just simply go in and raid the den. Now, agility is not, a score of 3 for agility is not too difficult, and I do have agility, so I have a reroll. So I think I'll just see if I can sneak inside and rob whatever I need. And on my very first roll, I get 3. So succeed. You are in and out of the den in a flash, and the creatures within are none the wiser. So I gain loot by Wasteland, so I get 2 loot cards, and I get Wasteland level of XP, so I go up 2 experience points, so that's 1, 2. This card goes to the back, and the 2 loot icons I have are Junk and Purified Water. Now, the Purified Water is interesting because that gives me 5 hit points, and the Junk is, well, it's just junk. If you can get a combination of them, then it's handy, or if you're the Mr. Handy robot, it's extra armor, but I'm not, I'm just the Vault Dweller. So I think I won't bother with the junk, and I now have a full inventory. I think I'll get rid of the Unstoppables magazine because it's no more use to me, and I'll replace it with Purified Water. just to have on board. And for my second action, I think I will camp. So I go up 3 hit points. I get my reroll back, and the enemies move. So the next card is Raiders and Bugs. Now, the first Raider has a gun, so he automatically comes into me and starts combat. So I will have to fight him no matter what. So I'll sort this part out first. So I need to take him out on both arms and legs, and he has 2 hit points. So I have legs and arms, and he has 2 hit points. Now I actually have legs, arms, and he does 2 damage to me. 1 is negated by the vault suit, so it's 1 point of damage minus 1 point of damage multiplied by 2 because of his level, so I only take 2 points of damage. Unfortunately, my plasma gun melts him, so I don't get any loot, but I do get 2 XP. And he goes away, which is nice. And I have to replace the character with another symbol. Now I'm going to pick the furthest away skull symbol, which is here, and place the replacement there. The next one is the Stingwing, moves onto me, and these 2 bios take a step towards me into rough terrain. And it is back to my turn. Now, unfortunately, I cannot quest on the rocket station whilst the enemy Stingwing is there, so I have no choice but to go into combat with him. Now, what I need to do to beat him is I need to hit the head and the chest. So, targeting the head and chest, I have 1 chest and 1 chest, that's it. I have another one which is the 6 dice, which will guarantee hits on me, which I'm not too keen on. I think I'll do a reroll, so we'll keep the one with the chest, and the next reroll is a head and a head. So what would happen there is these 2 are sufficient to kill him. I block 1 point with my vault suit, however 1 point of damage goes through, multiplied by his level, which is 2, so I get a further 2 hit points taken off me. But the Stingwing has moved on. So I take the Stingwing and I replace one of the bug symbols on the board, so the furthest one away is here. I think I'll put it there. And I gain 2 XP. So the one good thing about all this combat is I have leveled up again. So if I get another trait, I will have 2 influence points as opposed to, or I will have 3 influence points as opposed to 2 because I have actually leveled up. So drawing the traits, I have a choice between intelligence, which I already have, or luck, which I already have. So that's interesting. What this allows me to do, so instead of effectively leveling up, I get a perk. So what I'll do is I'll draw the actual perk cards, which are here. So I can choose one of these perks depending on the actual trait I choose. So there's 3 intelligence perks and 3 luck perks. So the first luck perk I could choose is the Grim Reaper Spirit. Discard to become death itself. Until the end of your turn, perform 1 additional action after each fight in which you kill an enemy. Ricochet. Discard when you kill an enemy to also kill another enemy within 3 spaces of that enemy. That sounds interesting. Or Fortune Finder, which is discard to gain 8 caps. Now that's nice. In terms of the intelligence, Swift Learner, discard to level up. Keep both special tokens. If you gain a perk, you cannot choose Swift Learner. Now that is an interesting one. Nerd Rage, if an enemy would kill you during a fight, discard to get mad. Suffer no damage or radiation and kill that enemy instead. Now that's an auto kill. Or Gun Nut, discard at a settlement to gain a weapon item from the shop or any discard pile. Now these are quite interesting. I could go for Swift Learner, which will allow me to gain another 2 tokens if I'm lucky. And if I gain a perk, I can't choose Swift Learner. Or I could go for Fortune Finder. Now I actually have a lot of caps at the moment. I have 11 caps. And if I got 8 caps more, I'd be quite well off. I do need armor. Now, yes, I do need armor, so there's nothing in the shop as of yet, or I could automatically level up. Now, given the amount of combat I seem to be going into, leveling up is not really going to be a problem, and the plasma gun gives me enough of a bite that I can kind of stand up for myself a fair bit. So I think what I'll do is I will use and discard the Fortune Finder perk and gain 8 caps, because when I do go shopping, it'll give me a lot of money to buy a nice piece of armor with, should I get it, or even things like stim packs, just so I can have them on hand. Now, I have a lot of pieces here. That was my first action, was to take out that thing, the bug. My second action is I'm going to quest on the Red Rocket Station. However, I don't like the way my hit points have all gone down, so I'm going to drink the purified water. Discard that. It'll give me an extra item slot, and I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hit points, so I'm back up to my full hit points. And I'll quest at the Red Rocket Station, which is the Wasteland. So the next card is 46. A few faint scratches on an old wall indicate an enclave cache. Pushing a rusted cabinet aside, you expose the hole in the floor and drop down. Inside, a hooded figure dozes. I could back out and look elsewhere. I could drive her off or ask what happened here with a charisma score of 3. Now, I don't have a charisma icon, but I do have a free reroll from camping, so 3 is not a very hard thing to get. So I think I'm curious about the story here. So I'm going to roll and see if I get 3. I don't. I get 1 point. So I'm going to have to use my well-rested trait and roll again. And I lucked out and I got 3 with the one side of 6, basically the 6 in these die. So I've gotten 3 points, so succeed. She explains that this cache was empty when she found it and points you towards another. So I encounter the next card and I add 47 and trash. So I'm going to take out card 47. This card gets trashed. And I encounter the next card. So this is the next card and this gets added. So I'm just going to put these in here. And the next card I encounter is a dilapidated Nuka-Cola truck lies on its side here, spilling its contents out into the dirt. I could search for caps with a luck of 5 or hang back. Something isn't right. Now I'm actually awash with cash at the moment. So if I wanted to look for it for caps, I'd need a luck score of 5. I've lost my well-rested trait. So I'd only have 2 rolls to get a score of 5, which is unlikely. Or I could hang back and see if something's wrong. Now, like I said, I don't need the money, so let's hang back. Sure enough, after a few minutes of watching the truck, a group of raiders reveals itself from the surrounding foliage, gives the truck a quick once-over and heads off into the wasteland. So I get 1 XP for being sensible. I add 160 and I trash this card. So I'm just going to add card 160. So this is a settlement card, and that card gets trashed. And that is the end of my turn, because the first one was killing the Stingwing. The second part of the turn was questing on the Wasteland space, so now it's the faction's turn. So, turning over the card, we have, oh dear, we have the Super Mutants activate. So this guy takes a step towards me, and this guy has a unique icon on it. So I just want to have a quick check as to the meaning of that symbol. Now he's one of the expansion icons, so I'm worried that he's moving 2 spaces and that I might actually have to fight the behemoth.